Hi, Rich Tarani here with TMC. Thanks for watching. We're at ITEXPO 2016 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Robert Messer with ABP Technologies is with us today. Robert, how are you?
I'm very good, Rich. Thanks for having us here.
Thanks for being here. I figured we'd start at the top for those companies that aren't familiar with you. I mean, you've been in the industry for years and years, but maybe there's some newcomers that don't know who you are. Tell us who you are.
We're a specialty distributor for IP technology products. We're mainly in the space of IP telephony, voice and video, surveillance solutions, physical security, biometrics, and then general infrastructure, sort of wrapping it all together for the integrators, resellers, MSPs, etc.
Oh, that's very exciting. So in terms of what you're seeing in the market, I imagine you're really well positioned because of where you sit. Tell us what you see.
Well, this is an interesting question. When I was coming in here this morning, I was just thinking about it's been about a decade that we've been coming to the show, right? And a lot of things that have changed, and where we are now, where we're then, and definitely one of the biggest things that we've seen is the trend for the specialization. The general reseller, the way we used to see that was focused on one vertical, like a reseller for phone systems, for surveillance, this and that. Basically, they're tending to disappear. So today we're really in a world where there's a new business model. And that business model for us is focused either around more of a service mentality, which is where the reseller becomes the service partner of his customer, which, the big trend here is MSP. Or the other one is the reseller has become more of the technical partner. There's a difference. The service partner tends to be more in maintaining existing solutions, and the technology partner tends to be more of a consultant and a creator of a new solution that's basically designed for that vertical space with some customization. So typically will know either the industry or his customer very well, and then will, like a consultant, create something around that. And we as a company, we're trying to cater to both those groups, and by offering the right product mix.
Very exciting. And 2016 is a big year, I think, for technology. We're seeing a lot of spending on companies using technology, trying to differentiate themselves. I mean, that's not a new trend, but certainly I think companies are becoming more aware that others are leapfrogging them. And I'm curious, what else do you see in terms of 2016?
Well, I think that the concept of using technology to create a barrier of entry or to become better at what you do, that's been basically the main attractiveness of technology for the last 20 years or so. And we particularly see that the IP technology partner, somebody that is really an expert in everything IP technology, is the right partner for a small business to actually help them get that, to use technology in a smart way, to reduce cost, to increase productivity. Sounds like generic, but there's basically a lot of things that companies can do with IP, with technology, with solutions, and from access control, internal security, to just general teamwork, communication, whiteboarding. There's an infinite amount of things. And when these are matched to the company's workflow, then that's when you really get the best benefits from it. In terms of other trends, like on a product side, we also see a few trends this year. First one is, I think we're in a time of renewal. So we really kind of see a lot of renewal on three aspects. One is renewal of company infrastructure. My joke is you come to a company and talk to them and look at their routers and switches and ask them how old they are, right? And they'll tell you, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, right? And then you just wonder, how old is your cell phone, right? And you can see it's something changing in their face where they say, yeah, so my cell phone is just for me, and I'm refreshing it every 2 years. And this router that my whole company's productivity is sort of depending on, I've had for 8 years, and I don't even know what it is. Maybe I need to look at that again, right? So we see a lot of need for renewal in infrastructure. A lot of the solutions that we're deploying from the phone systems to video surveillance to video conferencing solutions, their quality just isn't as good as it could be. It actually fails in some cases, and people decide to give up on the technology. And it's really because they haven't really upgraded their infrastructure. Wireless is the same. I mean, you go to most companies and they say wireless sucks here. But wireless could be really good if you put in the right infrastructure. So for us, there's a great opportunity for our resellers and partners to actually upgrade companies' infrastructure. People will be very happy because overall what they have is going to work much better. And they also build confidence, trust with their customers after that. So it's very inexpensive to do that too. You get into, you find out what all they're doing, so it's an easy way into a business. The second trend that we see that, is still to be confirmed, but we think this time video conferencing solutions in the bigger sense, we actually call it IP video solutions in general, are probably going to take off. The cost has come down a lot. There's overall integration between pretty much all the players. It's also backwards compatible with all the expensive solutions that were rolled out, like the H323, the Polycoms, the Ciscos. So all that stuff now actually works with very inexpensive solutions as one. There's a lot of good software. There's good partnerships, companies like Zoom and BlueJeans. They help put it all together. Like Google Hangouts and Skype, which sort of before were seen as a competitive solution that were making people not want to spend the money on the better video conferencing solution because they thought you can get it for free, now are realizing, wait a minute, that just doesn't work as good as it could. And on top of it, it's a cost enabler because now we only have to put the video conferencing solution in a few places, and other people, they can actually join using these other tools. So you can be on an iPad, and join in on a better video conferencing solution. You could use Skype for that. And that's great because we all may be traveling and our other solution doesn't work, right? We may use Skype on a phone, on an iPad, on a laptop, and it always integrates. So I think that this final integration where it's all coming together is really going to make a big difference and will take this video solutions to the next level. And then third, we see more of an approach of we spend a lot of time as a company selecting the right solution packages for our partners because we know how important it is that the solution that's out there will last. It's not a short term, that it has all the feature set that they need. You can't be reinventing the wheel all the time. So what we create is bundles and packages that work for some specific needs of specific types of companies, and then we can actually service our resellers much better. We can concentrate. We know what support issues there are because they're always the same. So we did a lot of standardization, and we kind of see business solutions as packages, as bundles being shipped and provided from us to our partners where we can pre-configure the whole thing. And they spend a lot less time trying to reinvent the wheel and messing with the equipment. Much rather, they can spend the time showing their end user how to set things up, how to use things, teach them stuff. After, once the end user actually gets that exposure to the solution and they know how to use it after that training, they come out much more excited about what they just got. They become more of a referral partner. They'll tell other people, look, I'm so happy with my solution, right? There's so many instances where people would, install a phone system, and because they were just so depleted, just putting it all together, at the end that they didn't teach people how to set up the voicemail and this and that, and people aren't happy with that, right?
Right.
So our approach is to take it to the next step where there's a lot more service factor and a lot of other things that the system can do that our resellers have time to do because everything just works out of the box.
Thank you so much, Robert. This
You're
was
welcome,
amazing.
Rich.
Appreciate
Thanks
your time.
for having us here again, and looking forward to a great show.